chat? Hi everyone. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. I don't know how to open this, but basically, the premise of tonight's stream is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have a couple of stories submitted by people in the Discord server. I want to thank Roach, our little Roachy Poo, for setting this up, having everybody chip in, reminding everybody to submit their stories. I was gonna write one, but then I forgot, and then I got really lazy when they saw the deadline was only like 3 days. So unfortunately, I ain't got nothing. However, we do have a couple of submissions. I think it was around 8 to 10 stories. Some of them are a little bit silly. Some of them are like fucking doing your mom, copy pasted here, or like the fucking Slenderman song, copy pasted here. Ha ha ha! Ah, so funny. But I've seen a handful of these. Majority of these are like stories that people put a lot of effort in. And we're going to start off with a special one. Just one sec. My little special little setup. Do you like it? I worked really hard on this. I spent 18 hours working on this. Before that though, I'm going to change it to the proper music for this type of atmosphere we're going to set up for tonight. So we're gonna start off with Quaner's story, his main submission. Motherfucker wrote War and Peace in form of the Creepypasta, titled Lenny.exe. Holy shit. So this one's gonna be interesting. I'm a total Lenny the Rican fan, much like everyone else. Lenny had a rough transition. Like, have you seen those eyebrows, honey? Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked Pudero Rican bootlegs before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Lenny Undertale. I like how you get to explore not being a fucking homo lol owned, until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual and left. I paused my game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a Bluetooth speaker for computers and a note. I looked inside. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Shay, let's just call him that, whom I hadn't heard from in 6 months. I know that because I recognized his ramblings about Guilty Gear Bridget and how he was superior to everyone else, though what was weird is how reasonable it sounded. It looked like a normal person whose father actually loved him had wrote it, as if Shay was having another mental breakdown. Talk about a hot mess express girl. This is what he wrote. Quaner, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. And I was hoping you'd do it for me because I'm too good to do it on my own because I'm better than everyone. I can't do it. He's after me and my concubine a small child. And if you don't destroy this Bluetooth speaker, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Quaner, destroy this godforsaken Bluetooth blaster before he comes after you. It's too late for me. Destroy the Bluetooth, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even listen to Mitsuki and sit in your bed in a fetal position like I did. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please. Shay. Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Shay is my bestie and I haven't seen him in 6 months, I didn't do what he asked me because honestly, fuck that guy, lol. I didn't think that a simple Bluetooth speaker would do anything bad for him. After all, it's all just a speaker, right? Baby girl, you know I was wrong about that one. I can't believe this was written by fucking Quanisha. Anyway, I looked at the speaker and a GD-ROM fell out of it and said Lenny.exe. And it looks like any other ordinary computer CDR disk, except it went to the Dreamcast. I knew this because I was sitting through my state-mandated limited run games shill modern vintage gamer video. He had mentioned that no, their games aren't just burnt on normal disks. Stop saying that on the forums. It had black marker on it written Lenny or lowercase y .exe, and it was much like and it was much unlike Shay's limp-wristed sissy ladyboy on meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, like limitedrungames.com or in the classic and iconic LRG pop-up shops. This explains why I hadn't heard from him in 2 years, because it took that fucking long to burn the blank fucking CD and put it in the shitty CD case with a little fucking keychain or some shit. Fuck you, Metal Jesus, you piece of shit! When I saw Lenny on the writing of the CD, I was actually fucking pissed. This fucking guy again. I went up to my Brazilian goon cave and turned on my semen-filled Dreamcast and put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Lenny game. I was like, Amazeballs? Because like I said earlier, I like the early Lenny, not post-bottom search. My fucking god. The first thing I noticed was out of place was when I pressed start. The fucking controller wasn't working, and I had bought my pre-cummed in Dreamcast from DK Oldies. Joey made a special version of him dicking that. I can't fucking read this on YouTube, dog. I could tell from the video alone that he deposited another 1.36 ounces of semen into the console, but did not take the proper time to betray the controller. This was fucking glob shit, dude. I quickly forwarded the information to Review Tech USA and went back to the game. There was a split second when I saw the title screen turn into something much different, something that I now consider horrifying, before cutting to black.com. I remember what the image looked like in the split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened, the title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Rico 1991 was now instead Rico 666, and the water had turned red, like blood. Q. But the freakiest thing was that with a split-second frame was Lenny. His eyes were pitch black and coming with non-gay Christian semen with 2 glowing red dots staring right at me, and his asshole had stretched wider up the edge of the screen. I was rather freaked about the image when I saw it, though I figured that it was just one of the Lenny's little big-lipped alligator moments and forgot about it. After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 30 milliseconds or so, and then another weird thing happened. The save file select from Lenny Plastic Prostate Adventure 3 popped up, and I was like, what the deuce? What's this doing in the original Lenny Pretty Princess Puerto Rican Slut game? Anyway. Then I noticed something off. The background was a dark, cloudy sky of the Bad Mud Hut Jungle level from Lenny CD. The CD stands for Cock Dick in his ass. And there were only 3 save files, and a cloud save option only for limited run gold pass members. The music was that creepy Shota trapped in Omocat's basement music from Amori, only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. We're sure it wasn't slowed down with reverb? The image for the save file where you see the preview of the level you're on, just Jeff Foxworthy in a big diaper moaning on all fours for all 3 files. What freaked me out was more that the character select. It showed only Roach, Blue, and to my surprise, Neon. Now, I was sure that something was up. I mean, how can you play as Neon in a classic Lenny game? For crying out loud, what the fuck, dude? Pushes over a lamppost. Fuck. That's when I realized that this wasn't a genuine copy of the game. It was a burned CD from Limited Run Games. Yeah, it definitely looked burned. It was really shitty and fucked up like Tigga Batman Analog Horror. But as a smart Alpha Sigma gamer, I wasn't scared. Or at least I try not to be, gulp. I told myself that it was just a burned game, and there was nothing Limited Run could ship to me that would get me within the next 5 years that could hurt me. Anyways, shaking up the new haircut feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Roachipoo. And when I selected and got started, the game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard the creepy pixelated "I'm about to blow" that sounded an awful lot like the Dreaming Bull guy from the Thug Hunters before cutting to black.com. The screen stayed on black for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were fucked up rhomboses and trapezoids, and the text showed only Jungle, Act 1. The screen faded in, and the level title vanished, revealing Roachipoo in the Jungle Zone from Lenny Retroblast 8-Bit Quest. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing, and Roach said, what the Sigma? Time for another blissful adventure, and started his classic and iconic Roachipoo run. You wouldn't any other classic Lenny. Motherfucker, you need to like capital or like punctuate your sentences better. This is a fucking run-on sentence if I've ever seen one. Anyways, What was odd was that as Rochipu was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones very slowly as I kept going. I suddenly saw something and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the chuddies lying dead on the ground, seeping with cum. That was when the music started to be slowed down plus reverb. There we go! There we go! Roach had a shocked and phantom-taxed look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead cum-filled chuddies as Roach moved past them, saying, guys, you're gonna want to see this," looking more and more worried as the music became even more slowed plus reverbed. And he moves past more dead chuddies. I was shocked to see how they all got cummed on. They looked like somebody fucked them in a rather gruesome ways. A chuddy was hanged on a tree with what appeared to be a Black Rifle coffee hanging out. A chuddy had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and a chuddy had his wife's boyfriend take away his Nintendo Switch. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this forked up sight, and apparently so did Rochipu. After a few more seconds, there was no more chuddies, and the music seemed to have stopped, plus reverb. Fucking Christ, Quantum, I'm gonna kill you. I still kept Roach to continue. Roach was running up a hill, and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Lenny was there on the other side of the screen with his back against Roach, with his eyes closed. Roach felt so Sigma to see Lenny, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Lenny wasn't responding to him, if not acting as if he was totally oblivious of Roach's presence. Roach walked slowly towards Lenny, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my Donkey Konga bongos to make a move. So this had to have been a cutscene, it seemed this way. It seemed this was a Sony exclusive beta test. Suddenly, I began to have a bad feeling about this guy's, gulp, as Roach walked closer to Lenny to get his attention. I felt that Lenny was in danger and something bad was going to happen to him. I heard a faint static growing louder as Roach was but inches away from Lenny and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling of Mpreg was filling my stomach and was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Roach to get away from Lenny as the static grew louder. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Lenny's eyes open, and they were black, with those white cum gushing dots. Just like that title image. Possible reference? Though there wasn't a smile. Me Chinese, me a Japanese. When that happened, the screen turned black, and the static sound was off. It stayed blacked for about 7 seconds, and then white text appeared forming a message saying, "Hello, Mario." At this point, I was sexually stimulated. I didn't want to continue my edging streak with this game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the title now saying, "Xenogears is good, guys, stop making fun of it!" This time, I was in the island level from Lenny 3, with 3... Lenny 3-way with guys, and it looked like everything was on fire, kind of like my mixtape on only a spoonful. Rochipu looked as though he was feigning out of his wits with this time. He actually looked at me and said, what the Sigma? We have got to get out of here!" As if he wanted to get out of the area he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Roach was actually mogging the 4th wall, trying to tell me to get him out there. So I pressed down on the arrow key on my limited edition Kevin Spacey keyboard as hard as I could, and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet YIPPIEEE at the Hustlers Academy as Neon from Lenny Boner was playing as I made Roach trek through the Puerto Rican forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard a creepy moan again, that awful, dreamy moan. Right after 10 business days have passed as I helped Roach run through the forest, and then I started seeing flashes of Lenny popping everywhere on the screen, again with those black and white eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful buzzing jingle, as I see Lenny behind Roach slowly gaining up on him on his lawnmower. Lenny wasn't running. He was actually mowing! The mowing pose the sprite was making looked very similar to the George Droid's mowing pose in Lenny's CD, except it was just Lenny, and he had the black and white eyes again. Only this time, he had the most nonchalant looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the back shots he was giving to our little poor little Gookie Goo as he gained up on him. Suddenly, when Roach tripped, another cutscene in the Sony exclusive, the music stopped and Lenny vanished. Roach laid there and started yapping little bro for about 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, like put the fries in the bag bro, and I kinda teared up myself and I hadn't cried since 8 this morning after watching the Bluey episode with the Fourth Reich. But then Lenny appeared right in front of Roach, and Roach looked up in horror. Semen started to come down those blackened eyes of Lenny's, as a grin slowly grew from his face, as he looked down at the horrified Zipperhead, and I could do nothing but watch. Just in a split second, Lenny lunged at Roach, right before the screen went black. There was a loud moaning noise that only lasted 5 seconds. Text returned, only this time it said, "I got lotion on my sit." And then that god-awful moan came with it. I was so shocked by what had just happened. Did Lenny backshot Roach? No, he couldn't have. He and Roach were supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Lenny do that to him? I jacked off as I was brought back to the other character select. The save file that had Roach was different. Roach was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red static. Roach's expression scared me. His eyes were black and coming. His yellow skin had gone black, and he had an expression of a welfare on his face. Trying to ignore them, like I do on the subways as I play my 3DS, I picked Blue next. I take a little sip here. How's everybody liking this story so far? Do you think it was justified what Lenny did to Roach? Was it a little bit out of pocket? Ugh. The moan came again, and the screen cut to black again, and stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time the level said, "Mini Man!" I was really freaky out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was Kino, or cringe, or some kind of sick, twisted tea, or anything really. What the actual fuck does that mean? But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of the O-Block zone, but the sky background looked like the Harlem house, or the Harlem zone. It had the dark reddish cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out the most. It was fucking Basketball People music. Specifically Hands Up by Lloyd Banks. I also noticed that Blue was stanced up. He had a blown hoodie he had received from his dog 108, and a black do-rag with deep rounds in his mouth. He had a stick sticking out of the back of his sweatpants that said, "I'm with her." He broke the fourth wall just like Roach, and looked as if he wasn't sure what was going on. But I made him move anyway. He ran down the street pathway in his O-Block level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker white static a couple of times, and then the maddening moan came again. Haha, like semen. Then after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the block pavement. I felt the growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible is going to happen to Blue. He looked nauseated walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept on going. Suddenly as Blue ran, Lenny appeared right in front of him with those black and white eyes, and that white static appeared again. When the static vanished, showing nothing but black screen, with text saying, "You got your gun for the fashion, fuck nigga!" I was now scared. Lenny found Blue already? What was going on? Anyway, white static came again. Then I was back to the level. Blue looked like he was chilling, and Lenny was nowhere to be found. And this time the high-pitched squealing from your mother's house when I was there last night was playing. Was this some kind of boss battle with Lenny? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly Lenny appeared right behind Blue, in what appeared to be a pixelated black smoke. I made Blue's turn and stab Lenny with a switch, but Lenny said, "Ow, what the fuck, dude? Ow, I think you like fucking hit a nerve. Ow, like actually you need to go to the ER." Then Lenny appeared behind Blue again. Then I made him stab again. And Lenny said, "Bro, why the fuck did you ollie in front of my girl?" Blue was having a realistic panic attack even more. And even I felt like I was going crazy. Lenny was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Blue. Another cutscene played as Knuckle fell out to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Lenny was actually driving us both crazy. And then in a split second, Lenny lunged at Blue, and then the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Another text message appeared. "Little white boy afraid to catch a body?" What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Lenny was actually trying to talk to me through his homo delusions, but I was too horny to think that. Fuck! God damn it. Oh my god. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second file box had Blue in the TV screen. His white skin darkened to the reddish gray, his do-rags were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too, and he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are the actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So I shut off the game, and I took a break. I took a nap. I wish I hadn't. Because I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness, though I was under the light given off by a lamp that was hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Blue and Roach nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us. Why did you redeem, ma'am? Ma'am, you didn't have to redeem!" Their cries died out as I heard Lenny moan. His moans. It sounded a lot like the disturbing Dreaming Bull moan. You're a lot of fun. I can't fucking read this. You're a lot of fun to beg with, kid. Just like your friend Shay, though he didn't last long. I was scared and looking around for the source of that voice. Won't be long until you join him, and all my little Thai slave boys. I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out, in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my asshole now, kiddo, just like the others. When it grabbed me, I saw his coming black and white-eyed, grinning face. I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I know why. I had to get up my Xbox gamer score. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Neon next. I still thought this was wacky, playing as Neon. But anyway, the little level title appeared, and this time it said, ... which I found really freaky. This time, I was in some kind of Diddy dungeon. Sorry. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Lenny games, though it had that retro blast style. The floor was oiled and checkered. The walls were dark grayish purple with animation and cinema candlelights, and a few dark shit stains here and there. And there was a blue curtain because the I don't fucking know what that is. It's a sad little bitch hanging above on the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that blue curtain sways very sensually. But whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move, probably because of my bad eyesight. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful song. But I knew better. The song was the Omocat molestation theme from Amori, only it wasn't in reverse, or slowed down with reverb. Neon didn't look entirely nervous like Roach and Blue did, but he did give a suspicious look on his face, as if it was just a bit paranoid the weight loss trainers were going to get his BBWs. He did a little animation when I just left him standing. He just turns his head. Sorry. Fuck. He turns his head to the left and then to the right, at least twice, and then shrugs at me as he pulls out Little Debbie donuts, as if he has no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was bored out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Neon continue onward. He did his usual Neon shuffle animation, you know, when you beat him at the end of the classic Lenny game and you chase him, as he continued going through the hallway. Then I stopped at the long flight of stairs leading downward to the freak-off. Now I was nervous. Even Neon seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. As I led Neon downstairs, I noticed that the walls have gotten darker and more goonish, and blah blah fucking Lenny found out all of Neon's BBWs and slowly gave them all Ozempic. Neon cried and screamed and pulled out a lighter, burned his fucking eyeballs out while screaming, "What a fucking drama queen!" Lenny suddenly appeared in front of Neon's level 10 chocolate gat, as if he went in for a taste. Then suddenly, the screen went fine sauce Vinny corroded. The white static lasted for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me a most unpleasant image. The image showed an image of Lenny standing in the darkness, where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. He looked so real, you could actually see the lines you could see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the brown skin if you touched the screen. His face. Oh, God. He had the most horrifying smile 2 movie I had ever seen. The screen showed his prettifying Puerto Rican face. I am God. It was when I read that message while looking at Lenny when it hit me. I realized right there and then. This Lenny was a monster. A pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims, including Roach, Blue, Neon, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is a very gateway into this chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims were trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Lenny lunged at the screen, screeching loudly with his mouth wide open to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again, this time much louder and distorted, so loud that it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears as the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. Then it stopped and showed nothing but a black screen. As I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. "Ready for round 2, Tom?" The Kegp laugh, now sounding more clear as if Lenny was right behind me, played again 3 times, as I looked at the text in shock and confusing. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the third save file had a TV image of Neon in the same tormented state that Roach in Blue. Or tormented state as Roach in Blue. "Sorry, I'm dyslexic, I can't read good." Neon's skin turned a dull gray. His mustache drooped and had blackened. His glasses broke and blood was coming from them, and he had a mere dead expression on his face. I looked at Roach, Blue, and Neon, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they were going through, and they were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Lenny is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one. And then when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. Literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always, as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there. But at least I managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there for 25 seconds, I heard her voice right behind me like a whisper. "Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom." I turned around to see where the voice came from. What I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Lenny plushie, smiling with bloodstains under its eyes. Wait, Connor, I'm reading this and I'm like, dog, did you forget after this part? Well, no, you have this part. I think like after this part, you literally just like took the fucking Sonic.exe Creepypasta. Did you not make any fucking edits? Like, dog, you lazy fuck. My god, this is really good. Where's my favorite fucking part? Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't seem to find it on here. Hold on. Oh no, I can't find it. Whatever part said Lenny 3 ways with guys, that was the best part. That was fucking cinema. That was peaky. Alright. So what did everybody think of this creepypasta? What did everybody think about Lenny.exe? Holy shit. Was it good? Was it bad? Chat, how would you rate this out of 5? I heard that if you don't lock your doors by 9 PM this Halloween, Neon will show up at your house. That'd be fucking horrifying, dog. Imagine like seeing Neon. Imagine like seeing his face. I'd shit my pants, dog. Be fucking horrified. Alright. So that was the first story. And this is again separate from what every other user submitted. Since I think Roach's submission was just a little bit late. Or not Roach, Corner submission. It was a little bit late compared to everybody else. Now we're going to move on to the main document where most of these stories are compiled by. As you can see, this one was submitted by Sparky Musette, better known as Garbo's wife. This one is titled, The Haunting at Bakersfield, When the Heartbeat Struck. It was 1982 in Bakersfield, and after a long week of work in the fields, my mom and her crew were dead tired, ready to unwind. As the sun went down, they gathered in their small, run-down rooms, cracking open beers and trying to relax. That's when the banging started. Loud crashes like rocks hitting the roof. A couple of the guys, thinking it was just some kids messing with them, climbed up to check. But there was nothing there. No rocks, no sign of anyone. Just an unsettling silence that hung in the air, like something was watching them. They tried to shake it off, but as they sat back down, the noises returned, louder this time. like the roof was being torn apart. The woman began praying, sensing that whatever was out there wasn't human. The men, pissed off and ready for a fight, grabbed the weapons and stormed outside, prepared to take down whatever or whoever was responsible. That's when they saw it. A creature perched on the roof, half woman, half bird, with wings like jagged shadows and glowing red-orange eyes that burned through the night. It stared them down, a twisted snarl curling across its face. One of the guys, thinking he was tough, started cussing it out, daring it to come down. The harpy, screeching like something from a nightmare, spread its wings and launched itself at them with terrifying speed. Chaos erupted as everybody scattered, running for their lives, but the guy who had taunted it, he wasn't so lucky. The harpy grabbed them with its talons and disappeared into the sky. The next day, word spread that the guy had been found 30 miles away, lying in a field, filthy, trembling, and completely broken. He had soiled himself out of fear and wouldn't speak a word, his eyes wide open but empty, like whatever he saw had shattered his mind. Nobody went back to those rooms after that. Whatever that thing was, whether it was a demon, a curse, or something else entirely, it left a mark on everyone who saw it. To this day, people say the land is cursed, and those who were there still feel the cold grip of fear whenever they think about the night the harpy struck. P.S. True story. Guys, what do you think about that one? Guys, what do you think the harpy did to that man? Do you think it started with R and ended it with E? Four-letter word? Do you think that happened? I think that's what happened. Pretty spooky. Pretty scary. I like how descriptive it was. I wouldn't call it really scary or suspenseful, but I did like the imagery of being in like a little shack, having this fucking Jeepers Creepers ass monster banging on the fucking roof. It was pretty neat. Now this one, I gotta get something special for this one. Hold on. Give me just 1 sec. I made a promise. I made a promise to my boy. I made a promise to my boy. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. So this one was written by Snake, and he just wanted to attach this image as like a little companion piece, a little visual aid to what's going on in this story. This one doesn't have a title. Thunder pierced the sun and halls at the darkest state. All were empty, but for one room. In it, darkness surrounded the lone figure, broken only by the solemn light of the screen ahead of him. Quanner Contavious Jr. IV shook as his pale hand gripped the crusty gamer mouse he bought on Amazon for $12. Its RGB lights left derelict of power long ago. His eye focused at a single image, the visage of horror. This depiction of utter cruelty left him shocked. Unable to form words, he remained in his gamer chair as if frozen, the compressed JPEG of evil leaving his soul shaken. Silence dominated the musty bedroom, but finally, as if some willpower of his managed to rebel against the terror, Quanner spoke. Oh, that score of one of my comfort characters, Jimmy Falcone from the hit animated comedy TV show, forget about it. Why does he look like fucking, Christopher? I mean, no, Quanner is Italian, I forgot. Never mind. What do you guys think about that one? That was pretty fucking spooky. That was pretty fucking scary. On to our next one. This one's written by Weed Lord Boner Hitler. I don't know who the fuck this is. Like, seriously, I looked up and down, like, I know everybody can submit their internet, like, who the fuck could this be? Who is this mystery nigga? I don't know. Could be one of the members in chat right now. One unrestful evening, Jay awakens from his restless slumber due to the strange noises emanating from his kitchen. Dismissing the possibility that it could have been a nymphomaniac girlfriend, he approaches the door. Upon opening, he gasps in horror. It was the Slender Man, and he was cooking hot dogs on the stove. Jay calls out, but Slender Man retaliates and whacks him with a warm wieners. 2 to be precise. As he makes his getaway, the Slender Man devours a bag of Lay's. This perplexes Jay. After all, how can he eat potato chips when he has no lips? The Slender I can't fucking God fucking damn it. The Slender Man escapes into the night, never to be seen again, leaving Jay to clean up the mess he had left behind. My fucking god, I love this one. That's a 10 out of 10. Short and to the point. Amazing fucking punchline. I love that one. That was KHC, yeah, this was really fucking good. This one's written by Discord user Marty. Famous for getting banned off of Rule 34 and not explaining it to anybody. Seriously, dog, what the fuck did you do? Anyways, that's not important. This story is titled Corpulent, based off of an old childhood friend of mine, Michael, 1998 to 2022. He sat at his computer, tongue licking his upper lip and lower lips in anticipation. The light of the monitor illuminating his chubby face as the sweat from his forehead trickled down underneath and pooled underneath his nose. He wipes the sweat from his forehead as a notification ping that led to that horny nigga text channel reflected through his eye. Oh, I know where this is going. The apartment smelled old. Old clothing, old sweat, old urine, and old memories that once belonged to a man with a purpose. Before he became, well, himself. Oh, so this Lavender Town theme is like a little bit too loud. Let me lower this. Oh, spooky Pokemon music. Ah! He was a click away from whatever he was notified of until Discord buffered once, twice, before the app turned entirely grey. Fuck, he muttered to himself. The internet was out. In a fit of uncontrollable spurred rage, he kicked the wall behind his computer, colliding with the mounds of filth and garbage that was built behind his computer. Fuck! He screamed as he ranted and raved at his misfortune that was muffled out by the mounds of garbage and filth that surrounded him in his apartment. He felt his foot squish something soft as an unimaginable stench emitted from it that he has become accustomed to throughout the years. Why would you be so mean to fucking— why do you have to be so mean to him? My god. It's so fucking vindictive, that fucking comment. He felt his deck spout up and down, and his tantrum ran its course. The floor creaking and moaning in protest as he let it all out. He quickly stood up before immediately sitting back down after the sudden shock of standing up after sitting down for God knows how long it took a toll on his fat, greasy, obese body. The single act was the straw that broke the camel's back. The floor of his old apartment finally gave in, and he fell through the hole that caved in right beneath him. He fell for seconds before he felt a sharp pain in his leg. He howled out in pain before he succumbed to it, passed out. When he came to, he felt the sharp sting from his fractured leg. He looked up from where he fell and saw it. The light from his monitor shining directly down on him. 800 gigabytes of the power of God. A vision of himself from a happier time with a woman and child that was foreign to him. Nicole? Claire? Johan? He couldn't remember her face, let alone what she looked like. He took a moment to observe his surroundings. The room he was in was surprisingly clean and neat. A room from a life that was almost foreign to him, like his own mind. He hasn't been in here since. What was it? Divorce? He didn't remember getting divorced or filling out the paperwork for it. It couldn't have been a divorce, so what was it? He tried to get up but was immediately subdued by the pain in his leg as he fell back down to the earth. Fuck, he thought to himself. He began to drag his overweight frame across the cool floor. Why is this fucking story so mean? I get it, he's a fucking Discord gooner, but like, God, dude, we get it. So cruel. Hold on, let me turn on just a little bit there. How's the audio, by the way? I hope my voice is being drowned out by the music. Anyways, he needed help. He needed to reach the phone to call 911. His mangled leg was bleeding worse now. He even swore he saw bone before his vision was clouded by the layers of fat and dried sweat. We get it, this nigga's fucking Brendan Fraser, okay? Fuck, dude. He kept crawling towards the black object in the corner of this room that seemed to resemble a phone. He pulled himself up to peer inside the box-shaped item. It was a playpen that held the tiny, long, decayed body of an infant. Oh my... what? Nothing left but skin and bone. He almost pierced through the skin. A brown stain near the crotch of the child suggested the process of rigor mortis had occurred long ago. The glassy, sunken eyes were wide open, and the mouth of the infant was wide open, a perpetual scream. He became nauseous from the sight and vomited into the playpen, desecrating the body of the deceased? Jesus fuck. I didn't expect this to get so fucking graphic, oh my god. His eyes slowly looked up from the other figure in the corner. A woman with a malnourished, skinny body gazed up to the ceiling in a look of pain. She seemed to have died crying and screaming. Her left teat was exposed, suggesting that she tried to feed her child one last time before she herself succumbed to starvation. The pain from his leg became unbearable before he passed out once more. When it came to again, the woman was standing above him. Maggots rained down on his face as she loomed over him. Her eyes were hollow, but he could feel the resentment and malice that irradiated from her sunken face. I hope I could have raised my children better than my worthless drunk of a father, given them a better childhood than my own, and a better father than my own. I married you. He tried to speak, but his body was paralyzed in both fear and pain. A futile effort, if there ever was one. But the truth is, I wanted to believe, and I was never one set back away from my worst self. The nights of abusing heroin and hardcore drug to escape my pain. And I'm telling you, discipline, drive, routine, the endless fucking desperation to get things done. Accomplishments I chased my entire life never felt as good as when I ejected the needle in my vein and felt that euphoria wash over me. The pain at his leg and stench of the woman was unbearable in his senses. He couldn't handle it, but was forced to stare up at her. I can clearly see myself for what I am. But you? The cowardly, selfish motherfucker who lost himself to self-indulgence and can't even acknowledge what you are? I should have been able to save her. If I could have done one thing right, I wish it had been to give me one small chance at life I could never have. The ceiling above him began to collapse all around him, as the filth from his life came crashing down all around him, drowning him, suffocating him, crushing him. So close, he mumbled. So close to the door, and I can finally reach the phone and call for help. He slowly turned to face the light from the monitor that shined brightly down on him one last time, before it was snuffed out for the last time by the garbage and roaches that fell all over him. God damn. I thought, like, when you mentioned, like, oh, look at this fat retard on this computer, like, jerking off on Discord, I thought it was gonna have, like, a more comedic tone, but that little bit about his dead wife and kids, that kind of surprised me, not gonna lie. Requiem for Rings, yeah. Literally. Can't take this shit no more. That was really good. I liked it. I think, I don't know, mentioned the drug abuse, and I think, like, I mean, I get it's a horror story, but like, I think it was a little bit too graphic and a little bit too edgy with the mention of drug addiction and everything like that. And I felt like, where is it? 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 This line. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. Overall, though, I thought it was a really good story. I liked it. What do you think, chat? What do you think? What do you think, chat? Do you think it was? Do you think it was good, chat? Do you like it, chat? I liked it. Next story is written by Mighty Joe Mama. This one is also untitled. Okay, listen up, y'all. I'm gonna tell you a story that'll make your skin crawl faster than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. There was once this fella, let's call him Bubba. Now, Bubba weren't the sharpest tool. I can't do a southern accent. I'm not gonna do a fucking southern accent. I refuse to do it. Now, Bubba went the sharpest tool in the shed, but he had a heart of gold and legs that could run faster than a prairie dog with his tail on fire. Folks around that town used to say, Bubba's life a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna... Oh my fucking god, this is Forrest Gump. God fucking damn it! One day, Bubba was out running, like he always did, when he stumbled upon this old creaky house. It looked about as welcoming as Rattlesnake and Lucky Charms box, but Bubba, bless his heart, didn't know no better. He knocked on the door and hollered, "Hello? Anybody home?" Mama always said it's polite to say howdy. The door creaked open slower than molasses in January, and out peeked a scrawny fellow with a nervous twitch. Name's Neon, he stammered, looking about as comfortable as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Bubba, being Bubba, invited himself right in. The house was darker than a cow's insides and smelled worse than a skunk sweating, but Bubba just kept on grinning and chatting away. As he walked through the house, Bubba noticed something mighty peculiar. There were pictures of everywhere, folks looking scared out of their wits. Neon kept fidgeting and sweating like a sinner in church. Suddenly, Bubba heard a noise that sounded like a pig caught in a tornado. He turned around faster than a flapjack on a hot griddle, and when he saw him, made his eyes bug out like a bullfrog in a hellstorm. There was Neon, shaking like a leaf on a tree, surrounded by ghostly figures. They were pointing and laughing at poor Neon, making fun of his, let's just say, his shortcomings. Bubba, not being the brightest crayon in the box, thought it was some kind of party game. He started laughing and clapping along, not realizing the danger he was in. The ghosts, they turned to Bubba, grinning like possums eating briars. They reached out their wispy hands, and Bubba, still grinning like a mule eating briars, took him. Next thing you know, Bubba was floating right along with him, laughing and carrying on like it was the best day of his life. Poor Neon, he just sat there, shaking in his boots. The ghost turned back on him, and faster than you can say a catfish in a hot tin roof, they swarmed him like bees in a honey pot. I get all these similes, like I get it, it's like a southerner, but like Jesus fucking Christ. It's like every line. I don't mind it, but it's a very interesting writing choice. When the ghostly fog cleared, there were nothing left but Neon with a pair of trembling boots and a whole lot of regret. Bubba? Well, he was still running to this day, chasing them goats and laughing all the way, never realizing he joined the spooky side. So remember, folks, if you ever meet a fellow named Neon in a creaky old house, you best run faster than Bubba ever did. You might end up joining the ghost party too. The end. Or is it? Wink, wink. That was an interesting story. I like the weird like Forrest Gump OC. I was showing up there, meeting Neon for the first time, being fucking taken advantage by all those scary ghosts. I enjoyed it.
Chat, what do you guys think of this one? Did you like this one too? I liked it a lot.
I like a lot of these. Except for, you know, the one where they had like Sonic.exe like copy pasted at the end with no effort put into it. Quanner. Yeah, anyways, this one was written by the nephew. Untitled. Slitherman, walk down and grab you. Climb through your window, break in and stab you. Slitherman control your body, make you eat more Molly. Slitherman fuck the community up. For Christmas time, I'm buying switches. Take your liver and sell your liver. I hate when Slitherman take over my thoughts. Look at this machete I just bought. 6 people in the house, they all dying. I put gasoline in the air fryer, 7 grams of Molly in the Henny, and offer that shit to everybody. Lace a blunt, pass it to everybody. I'm Jim Jones, not John Gotti. Dunk the backwood in embalming fluid, convince a bitch to do a triple stack, roll up a backwood and mix that with crack, destroy your whole family with crack, put gasoline all over your driver's seat, soon as you light your blunt, kaboom. This machete I got is new, stab you in your fucking pressure point, twist your neck until it snap. Fuck Halloween, I'll kill in September. Fuck Friday the 13th, I'll kill on the 1st. Fuck the 31st, I'll kill on the 3rd. I'll kill Tuesday at 3 o'clock. I'll kill a bitch at Sunday service. Slitherman produced this beat, and I put fish hooks through your eyelids, and pour bleach all down your throat, and a tattoo, I hate myself, on your head. Knock your granddad out of a wheelchair, slap the fuck out your grandma. Stab all your little cousins. I'll break in your house with no hands. Put cuts all over your body with a razor, and spray your ass with ammonia. Oh, you thirsty? I got a concussion. Or concoction, sorry. Fuck! I wanna see you cough up blood. I wanna see your family cry over your body. And get sturdy on a bitch grave. I pull up like I know what you did last summer. Freddy Krueger was a rapist. I hate him. Fuck Candyman. You ain't gotta say my name. Fuck Jeepers Creepers. That nigga ugly. Fuck Exorcist. That shit's stupid. My whole life is a horror movie. I fucked my bitch to a horror movie. I killed so many people, they go make more horror movies. The Wrong Turn stole my swag. That was good, right? That was good, right? That was good, right? I should have put like a SoundCloud beat or something and wrapped over it, but no. Too lazy. Whoever published that, did you take like a fucking song? This sounds like something from fucking like a Memphis rapper would write. Or did you actually write this? Because this shit was pretty funny. This next one is also entitled, oh my fucking god, it's another song. This one's a real Slither, man. My bitch evil like Angelica. She will rob a nigga. She will set them up. I've been rubbing since Rugrats. My bitch says, stop popping beans. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'll slap you, ho. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'll rob you, ho. Slitherman, he be out of his mind. I try to calm down. Stop tripping. White van, traffic a bitch. White van, traffic a nigga. White van, ransom your daughter. Terrorist acts, blow up a school bus. Suicide threat, kill myself. So much nerve, had to do it myself. Smoke that backwood, I want to kill myself. Every day I want to break a bitch jaw. I get drunk and crash my car. Teacher said I wouldn't make it far. That dumbass hoe was probably right. All my good licks is white. Bitch sniff coke, got blue eyes, walk in the trap like Donald Trump. Big Neff, make that trap great again. Gluck in my hand like killer Donald Trump. Make that cemetery great again. Nigga diss me, say it to my face. I bet you won't ever say that shit again. Kick a pregnant bitch in the stomach with Tim's. You don't like what I said? Then unsubscribe. I will stab an innocent bitch in the eyes. It's like Slitherman was born and died. Adam and Eve was sniffing coke. But they didn't want to put that in the Bible. The Bible told you Eve was trifling. The Bible made me hate a bitch. Trying to make me eat off that tree. I'll kill him. I ain't eating shit for these bitch-ass niggas. Jump out the cut, kill a bitch-ass nigga. Never in my life been a bitch-ass nigga. If Adam and Eve was real, they was black. Smoking weed out of leaves, drinking yak. They think Jesus was drinking grape juice, but Jesus was drinking yak. Who's the guy's name? RXK Nephew song? Let me check this out. Hold on. So yeah, like literally like took like a fucking Memphis rapper and they copy pasted it. I fucking knew it. It definitely sounded like it. I'll make sure to check him out. This shit is funny, like genuinely. This one's submitted by Scariest Story Ever. I think this motherfucker thought the title was a Discord use. This, whatever, man. Castlevania Lords of Shadow B is a 2010 action-adventure game developed by Mercury Steam and published by Konami. It was released on October 5, 2010 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, with a PC version released on August 27, 2013. 5. This game is a reboot of Castlevania series. Set in Southern Europe during the Middle Ages, the story focuses on Gabriel Belmont and his quest to defeat a malevolent order known as the Lords of Shadow and resurrect his wife. The player controls Gabriel in 3D environments as he uses melee skills to defeat enemies and solve puzzles to move through the game. That shit was horrifying. I'm glad they never made that game. Like, could you imagine if they made like a Castlevania like Lords of Shadow games and it was like a shitty God of War ripoff and like one of the final bosses was like fucking Shadow of the Colossus rip? That'd be fucking terrifying, dude. I shit myself. I'm so glad that shit doesn't exist. At least we got Castlevania on Netflix. This one is also called So Scary You Will Shit Yourself. The series revolves around an elite high school, Hope Peaks Academy, Kibogamine Gaokuen, literally Kibogamine Academy, which every year scouts ultimate students. I can't read that fucking kanji. That's Q. Yeah, Q. Super high school level. A talented high school students who are at the top of their field, along with the ultimate lucky student, who is chosen by lottery. The 3 games, Danganronpa, Turbo. Oh, this is Danganronpa. Fuck! Fuck! Who made me read Danganronpa? Who the fuck? Who? Who made me read Danganronpa? Who the fuck made me read Danganronpa? Whoever submitted this, make sure to fucking lock your doors tonight. I'm gonna fucking go in and I'm gonna murder you. I'm not fucking joking. Alright. I'm not reading this shit. I'm not reading this fucking shit. Fuck you. This one was submitted by HQDefault.jpg. HQD1 Sama. This one is also untitled. In my late evening stroll from work going home, shortly after I walked past an empty park, a strange orchestral music played. Fear encased me whole, and without a thought my body burst into a full sprint down the street as the melody only grew closer. I blinked and suddenly I was home. Nauseous, coughing, hyperventilating, and sweating excessively. I stumbled to my fridge to grab some water. I could hardly see anything or keep my balance. As the door flung open, I grabbed a bottle of beer instead. Once again, music that played, but a voice sang over it. Walls and floorboards all around me broke away and I fell through. Screams of terror forced me awake. The sky was bright yellow, and the smell of burning flesh had affixed to my mind. Long pillars of hair jutted from the ground like trees. The ground consisted of calcified dead bodies frozen like decorative stone fixtures, and all the items from my home mournfully strewn about on the ground like trash. Close by, a man stood before me. He reached out for an item on the ground, but before he could lift the items, dozens of bodies erupted from the ground and carried him away. The bottle in my care shattered, in the confusion and broken glass embedded itself into my hand. This sight and the screams of terror put me in shock, causing me to fall backwards, burning my feet and backside with more broken glass. That's a really fucked up image, oh my god. I descended the knoll of corpses with each step, followed by an awful crunch. At the bottom I found the man, nailed to the hair-pillared beat with hammers, whipped with chains. His leg looked like chewed food. He screamed for help. I tried to free him and asked his name. I'm Neon, he replied painfully. With one working hand, it took what felt like hours to pull the rusted nails and jagged stakes from him, as clouds filled the sky. His body hit the ground with a thud, and instantly he was gone. I continued on witnessing person after person falling from the sky. All were dead or completely paralyzed on impact. In the distance, I saw a woman unharmed. It was my dear mother-in-law. All around her packages of food and bottled water covered the ground. She carried a blank stare and didn't respond to anything when I called out to her. Slowly, she stepped onto something and thousands of massive arms descended from the clouds surrounding her. One arm gripped the woman, then threw her into the horizon. The sound barrier broke as her body quickly disappeared from view. Suddenly, she returned into the hand at twice the speed, with a thunderous bang. The arms repeatedly kept swinging by the legs, banging her into the ground past the point of her head was bursting open and her arms tearing off. Jesus fucking Christ. The arms dropped her from her high up, then repeatedly punched her body into the calcified ground. Emotions overtook me with tears running down my face, thinking of how I would tell the family when I left this world. I worry. I can tell this guy was ESL. I don't mean anything bad, but it's like I'm kind of like stumbling over words because there's a lot of like typos here. My worries only grew more when I considered who else could be here. Once again, I found Neon. He was tied, forced to stand upright in a cage. His body was swelling to 3 times its size. I could no longer see his pupils. It was still a better condition in contrast to... Says what now? Bro, why you, God. A strange shadow rolled from his... Green liquid! The object rolled onto the edge of the cage floor. It was very black and lacked detail beyond a jagged outline. A lump of coal, I asked. It reflected not a hint of light. It was the darkest I had ever seen. Suddenly, countless volleyball-sized pieces of coal sprinkled from his ass until they began to burst from his stomach as well. He didn't move. He didn't talk. But he still showed signs of being alive. Jesus Christ. The image of Neon bloodied, beaten, fucking whipped like a fucking slave in a plantation, shitting out coals from his assholes until they burst out of his stomach is fucking horrifying. I think this story was kind of messily like written. And again, I don't blame you if you're ESL. Because there's a lot of like typos and everything like here. Especially this fucking part with like the image of the woman being fucking like head smashed into a wall and like her head exploding. And the image of Neon shitting out coal until his fucking stomach burst. This is really cool fucking imagery. I fuck with it. It's really good. Anyways, I'm gonna change this fucking Fatal Frame track. Oh, never mind, it just ended. Ooh, that was good timing. I was starting to get annoyed by that track. This one doesn't have any. It just says here, food is Stein. If this is written by Neon, I swear to fucking God. On one stormy night, in the quiet, quaint village of Kensington, Philadelphia, a mad scientist by the name of Neon van Fuda burns away the midnight oil, with his loyal assistant, Rochiger. Neon yells out to his oriental helper, "Now, Rochiger, bring me the parts! Tonight I will make the perfect BBW!" "Yes, master," exclaimed Rochiger. That's so fucking close to being a slur. I'm trying to be careful spelling it out. He rolls out a table of body parts handpicked by yours truly. First, the Foompa from Liz. Perfectly flabby with noticeable stretch marks. Next, the saggy cow tits of Jorge's GF, lacking any elasticity and reaching to the knees. But hey, what can you do? And now, finally, the tree trunk wholesome latex ties of Garbo's wife. I staple each part to the cadaver. Then I hook up an IV with my life solution, a mix of grape Kool-Aid and Fent. Now, all she needs is lighting to be brought to life. "But wait, master," said Rochiger in protest. "You're missing the most important piece, the BBC of Dreamy Bowl." "Yes, of course, how could I forget?" With a forceful push of Liz's 200-pound gut, I stop it on. "Now, Rochiger, open the skylight. It's time," I say with my arms raised to the heavens as my BBW abomination is shocked to life. She begins to twitch and even jiggles her 12 rolls, standing a whole 6'9". But suddenly, there is aggression in her. She rages and rushes at Neon. He screams out, "Stop this! I am your before he could even finish. She grabs his jaw and dislocates it to prepare him for the Dreamy Bowl special. With little to no restraints, she begins to dick punch a hole through the back of his throat as his skull is caved by the weight of the Foompa. All Rochiger can do is watch in horror, as his once beloved master is turned into the gore to own a hole. Now satisfied, the creature looks back and stares down Rochiger, its members still throbbing. With all the knowledge his master bestowed upon he utters the one phrase that can stop it. What the Sigma? Somehow, it calms the beast's heart. The hung BBW embraces Rochiger, but this brings about an unfortunate end for our yellow assistants. All of his bones are crushed and horrible noises are screamed from the pits of his lungs, mixing with the sounds of the night as Fen zombies scream out demanding their EBT. The end. This is fucking rancid. I hated this. I fucking hated this so much. I despise this. And that seems to be the end of all the stories submitted. Oh my fucking god. So what did everybody think about all these stories? Which ones were your favorite? Personally, I liked the ones... Let's see. The one KHC wrote with the Slender Man. That was probably my favorite one. That one got like an actual giggle out of me. The one way Wheat Lord Boner Hitler. I like Corpulent, the one Marty wrote. And... I say the one HQ wrote was also pretty good. They had like a... They were obviously like shitposty, but they were also pretty funny. And especially HQ's like way of like... having that weird demonic fucking imagery and Neon shitting out coal. It was really good. I fuck with it a lot. I like Corner's one, but he should have finished it. It shouldn't have been a copy-paste fucking creepypasta. I gotta be real with you, buddy. Gotta be real with you. The last one. The last one. Everybody seems to like the fucking last one. Tier list them? I don't know. How could I fucking tier list them? I gotta sort them out. Let me get the MS Paint because I'm too fucking lazy. Let me skip the Sonic CD song because it's pissing me off. Oh no. There's another Sonic CD song. Oh no. So scary. Shit my pants. Alright. So let me just make the tiers real quick. Alright. Okay. Let me pull out the special MS Paint here. So, looking at these stories, it's hard to pick like a favorite one, like a top one. I'll just go by order. Corners was A tier. I like Corners. I like Corners a lot. I'd probably put it at the top of A tier just because it made me giggle. It made me smile. Made me shit my little pants. Though again, it wasn't like perfect because he literally fucking copy pasted and like fumbled in. Following that list, I'd say Sparky's one with the gargoyle or like the wyvern or whatever the fuck. I enjoyed the imagery. I thought it was a little bit short, and I felt like the ending was like really flashy, like nobody knows what happened to the fucking stupid retard farmer. So I'd say that one's B tier. There's so many niggas with S's here. I'll just like go by order, and if you miss it, then whatever. Then going by this list. Which one was the next one after that? Bay Snakes one? Okay. The forget about it joke was funny. The AI image of like a fucking what's his fucking face? I forgot his name. Christopher from The Sopranos being a Walmart worker shocked seeing a Gore of his comfort character. That was kind of funny. I don't know. Didn't land for me. I'd say Base Snakes C tier. If you explained more about that, and if you like had more of a suspense or a setup, I think like the punchline would have been way more funnier. Right after that, we got the one by KHC. S tier. I'm sorry? Or, yeah, I almost wrote an S here. Jay calls out, but Slenderman retaliates and whacks him with warm wieners. 2 to be precise. I can't fucking... There's something wrong with me. And again, like I already mentioned, Marty's one was also S tier. Had some weird bits here and there, but I like the setup of it. I like the sharp turn it takes. I like some of the, I guess, like, what'd you say? Not imagery, but like the emotions it evokes of like resentment and regret being really good. It was pretty cool. The one about Neon and Bubba being possessed by ghosts. I thought it was silly. I didn't think it was all that interesting or scary. It was... Yeah, D tier. No, that's mean. That's mean. Because I just remembered somebody made me read Danganronpa. Whoever that was, yeah, that one's S tier. Or that one's D tier. You're gonna die, motherfucker. Count your fucking days. So the one by MJM. That was like C tier. The Slitherman ones, you fucking copy pasted rap lyrics. Like fucking like fuck off. The one about Castlevania Lords of Shadow, that one's that's a really creative hypothetical. Like you came up with this like Castlevania game that's like really dog shit. And has like every like weird modern trend from like the 2010s, and it's like a fucking corny fucking piece of dog shit. Yeah, that one's a 2 tier. I don't know. Danganronpa one as we already discussed. The one about HQ wrote talking about him like going into this weird fucking house, seeing all this horrible imagery of like rotten flesh and weird voices singing. This woman being fucking crushed against a wall, having her fucking skull split open while Neon is like being whipped like a slave. That was Kino. That was Kino. I liked it. Oh, emphasis on Neon being a slave. That was the best part. And then finally we got the Fudestein one. I don't know. That's fucking gross, dude. It was so fucking... It was funny, but it's like, I don't know. I've been exposed to the fucking neon BBW Fudacock meme for so long that I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired, Hitler. I'm so tired, Hitler. Fucking hell. Yeah, fuck it. I'll put it in A tier. It was funny. It was funny, at least. It was just really fucking gross. So the Fuda one. That was A tier. So here we have it, everybody. This is the tier list I shittily wrote in MS Paint with a mouse while I'm half drunk. KHC, Marty, and HQ wrote the best stories. Corner and Neon. Pretty close, pretty close. Who the fuck was S? I forgot. Oh, Sparky's one. It was alright. I liked the imagery, but I thought it was kind of vague. And then the other one's written. Could have been better. Could have been better. Why does everybody like the fucking BBW Frankenstein? It's gross. Oh fucking god. Oh yeah. Thank you everybody for writing these stories. Thank you everybody for submitting, and thank you everybody for coming and watching me reading all of these out loud and having a stupid little giggle. It was a really fun stream, and I appreciate everybody for coming.
Anyways, bye-bye. Bye!